Hi, third grade. Today we're going to do the bonus unit, week 1, day 2. So let's get started with our drill sounds warm up. Let's do a few of these ones. A safe A acorn A wash ah, A squash ah, A Alaska ah, E Pete E me I pine I hi I animal or I champion E. O home O. O no O. U mule U. U rule U. U pupil U. U flew U. Y cry I. And Y baby E. Excellent work. Okay, the only other thing we're going to do today is continue working on our new concept of prefixes. So let's go ahead and listen.
Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to continue working with prefixes from the bonus unit for day 2 of the bonus unit. For today, we got a few things we're going to do. So I'm going to need you to get your dry erase board or something to write on. So some kind of board that you can write on, either with dry erase or even with a pencil and paper if you need to. And your magnetic letters, any kind of letters that you have that you can move around to spell things. You'll need those today as well. And if you have your student notebook, that's the one with the castle on it, we're going to be looking just at a page about prefixes in there as well. So if you want to pause the computer and get those things, that'd be great. And then we'll get started. So remember we were talking about prefixes that are closed syllables so far. And so some of those I have here on cards. So let's go ahead and read these. I'll hold it up and I want you to read these. Non, that's correct. Miss, un, sub, trans, ill, im, in, m, con, n, dis, and x. Great job. So those are our prefixes that are all closed syllables. They all have that short vowel and they're closed in by a consonant. And remember that these prefixes all have meaning. So for instance, I have the word stuck here. And if I want to add the prefix un, where would I put that? Right, I put it at the beginning of the word, right in front of that word stuck. I put unstuck. And if we look, and you can look in your student notebooks, and you'll see on page 42 is common prefixes that we will be working with. And on this column right over here are the closed syllable ones, and they have the meaning right next to it. But I've also written them up here on this sheet and hung it up on top of our letters for right now. And you can see that I've written the meaning next to these common prefixes. So un, we see in unstuck, un means not or the opposite. So if something is unstuck, it's the opposite of stuck. It's not stuck anymore, right? So that helps us with the meaning. So let's look at a couple other words just for examples. This word, imperfect. Imperfect. So I see the prefix in the front there, im. Im. If I look here, here's im, and that means not as well. So not perfect. Something that's imperfect is not perfect. So let's look at this next one. Misinform. Misinform. What's the prefix there? Miss, that's right. And it's spelled M-I-S. So M-I-S means wrongly or bad. So If you inform someone, you're letting them know about something. If you misinform, you're doing a bad job of giving that information for them. Maybe it's the wrong information. So it might be the wrong information that you're giving them. Misinform. And this one is a long word. Transcontinental. You see a prefix? Yeah, I see that prefix trans. That's one of our biggest prefixes there. Trans means across or beyond. So transcontinental could mean across continents. You could have a transcontinental train, a train that goes across continents, or a transcontinental flight, a flight that you would take across to a different continent. Could be a transcontinental flight. Okay, so that prefix is just some examples that help us to know the meaning, and they go in the beginning of the word and they change the meaning of the word, the original base word that we had there. All right, so let's talk about one of the trickier prefixes to spell, and that is this one here, X, right? X. And we know that X means out of or away from, X. So, but when we spell it, we hear, let's tap it, X. It sounds like you're saying the word X, right? Like the letter, but it is X, E-X. I hear X. And remember, that sounds like almost like KS together, but there is no S there. It's just the way that X sounds when we spell it, right? X. So remember that when you're adding that prefix on, because that can be a little tricky. Let's go ahead and get our magnetic letter boards, and let's go ahead and spell that prefix. So get out your letter boards, and let's spell the prefix X. Repeat it, X. Good, let's tap it, X. Go ahead and pull down the letter tiles to spell that. So you would have EX. How do you spell X? EX. The prefix X would be EX. Let's go ahead and spell that back. EX. Great. All right, let's try another one. M. M. Another little tricky one. M. All right, go ahead and pull down the letters. M. And I hear E-M, E-M. So the prefix M is spelled E-M. Go ahead and spell that back. E-M. Great. Let's try another one. Miss. Miss. And this is the prefix miss, not the word miss. Remember, it's going to be added to another word, a word, so it's just a prefix. So it's M-I-S. M-I-S. And since this will be added, it's not a one-syllable word by itself. It's a prefix. We're just going to put one S. M-I-S. Good. M-I-S. Let's try one more. How about the prefix sub? Sub. And sub means under. Sub. S-U-B. Go ahead and pull down your tiles for that. Let's check it. S-U-B, sub. Good job. Spell it back. S-U-B. Good. Let's switch to our dry erase boards now. So you need a dry erase board and a marker. And we're going to spell a couple words here. But because they're going to have the prefix, they're going to be at least 2-syllable words, and we're going to break them down into syllable by syllable. You ready? First one, let's try misstep. So remember, miss is our prefix, miss, and so if we misstep, we're not stepping correctly. If you misstep on a floor, you might trip. If you had a bad step with that, okay? So let's break down misstep. Miss, step. Touch each of your boxes or touch something on the table in front of you to break it down. Misstep. Miss, that's right, M-I-S is our prefix. Step. S-T-E-P. All right, good. So we don't need the extra S over here. The S here is part of this word, step. All right, so we have misstep. Go ahead and put it on the line together as one word that's 2 syllables. Misstep. Let's scoop it and read it. Misstep. Great. And if we mark that, we'd have a closed syllable first, and we'd have also a closed syllable with a second syllable. Great job. All right, let's try another one. The next word I want you to try is non-slip. Non-slip. Repeat. Good, non-slip. Let's touch the boxes. Non-slip. Non, N-O-N, good. Slip, S-L-I-P. And our prefix is non, which means not. So a non-slip surface would be something that's pretty hard to slip on. You're not going to slip on that surface. Go ahead and write the word underneath. Non-slip. Let's scoop it to check it. Non-slip. And go ahead and mark it what type of syllable those 2 syllables are. Non-slip. 2 closed syllables we have there. Great. Let's try one more. And then maybe you can look at your home support packs or something that you have that you can practice some extra words your teacher might give you. Let's try the word disrespect. Disrespect. 3 syllables, right? Disrespect. All right, I hear a prefix, dis, D-I-S, re, R-E, spect. That's tricky. Be careful of that ending. How did you spell it? S-P-E-C-T? Good. Disrespect. Let's go ahead and write it on the lines. D-I-S-R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Go ahead and scoop it. Disrespect. Disrespect. Good job. Let's mark it. The prefix is closed. Re is open, and that vowel is long. Spect is a closed syllable. It's got 1 vowel closed in by that CT. That CT is a little tricky blend on the end there. Good. Disrespect. Check your work. All right, great job, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll be working more on prefixes in the coming days. Bye-bye.
Okay, 3rd grade, that's all for today. See you next time.